Welcome to my channel Pocket Change Coins, because, as you know, old is gold. Some of the rarest coins worth big money could be hiding in your hands right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Let's dive in. First, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in recent US mint history, the 2022 P. Wilma Mankiller $quarter. This coin is far more than just pocket change. It's a collector's dream, a historical tribute, and in some cases, a ticket to an incredible payday. You won't believe what makes this coin so rare, and just how much one of these could be worth today. Now, if you're new to the world of rare and valuable coins, this one might not be on your radar yet, but trust me, it should be. The 2022 Wilma Mankiller $quarter, minted in Philadelphia and marked with a bold P, is part of the American Women Quarters program, a series dedicated to celebrating influential women in American history. And Wilma Mankiller, the first female principal chief of the Cherokee Nation, was a true trailblazer whose leadership changed lives and whose legacy continues to inspire generations. But it's not just the historical importance that's catching the eye of collectors everywhere, it's what's hidden beneath the surface of this coin that's turning heads in the numismatic world. That's right, specific mint errors, die varieties, and unexpected anomalies have pushed some of these quarters from being worth just 25 cents, to being valued at thousands of dollars in today's market. You heard that right. And we're going to break it all down for you in just a moment. So, what makes this coin so special? Let's start with the minting process itself. During production, a small number of Wilma Mankiller quarters minted in Philadelphia were struck with highly collectible errors that collectors consider extremely rare. These include die clashes, double dies, off-center strikes, and retained cut breaks, all of which are considered premium errors by professional graders and auction houses. These aren't just slight imperfections, they're dramatic, visual, and unmistakable signs that set these coins apart from the ordinary. Imagine holding a coin in your hand where the text or design appears doubled. Yes, that's known as a double die error, and some Wilma Mankiller quarters have this error specifically on her name, the motto, "In God We Trust," and even along the intricate feather details of the Cherokee sash she's wearing. These doubled features are incredibly sought after and can instantly make your coin worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. And let's not forget about the die clash errors, where parts of the design from one side of the coin are accidentally imprinted onto the other, creating ghost-like images and unintentional art that collectors absolutely go wild for. These rare varieties are not only scarce, they are visual proof of a mistake at the mint, and in the world of coin collecting, that means value skyrockets. Collectors have also reported examples with off-center strikes, where the coin's design is visibly misaligned, sometimes leaving part of Wilma's profile pushed dramatically to one side. The more off-center the strike, the rarer the coin, and when combined with the right features, these off-center quarters have been sold for stunning amounts. Another rare and sought-after feature is the cut error, where a piece of the die actually breaks off during minting, leaving a blob of extra metal on the coin's rim or edge. It might look like a flaw to the average person, but to collectors, it's a sign of rarity and uniqueness that drives up demand big time. These are especially popular among error coin collectors who specialize in oddities that occur during the striking process, and here's where it gets really exciting. Collectors and dealers have already confirmed multiple error variants of the 2022 P. Wilma Mankiller $quarter being bought and sold at auctions, coin shows, and online marketplaces, with bidding wars driving prices higher and higher. Some quarters with strong double die errors and dramatic misstrikes have been professionally graded and encapsulated, fetching thousands at auction and continuing to rise in value as demand for this coin grows. This coin is especially attractive to both modern coin collectors and seasoned numismatists alike, not only because of its beauty and historical importance, but because it's a relatively new release, and many people still don't realize how valuable it can be. That's why it's so important to check your change, look through old rolls, and dig through your coin jars. You might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it, so how can you tell if you have one of these rare and valuable Wilma Mankiller quarters? First, look for the P mint mark on the front of the coin, just above Wilma's shoulder. Then, under a magnifying glass or microscope, check the letters and numbers closely for doubling, especially in the words, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and e pluribus unum. Also examine the edges for any unusual blobs or misalignment, which could point to a die break or cut error. If you spot something unusual, don't clean the coin, keep it as is, and consider submitting it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. A graded, high-quality error coin can sell for exponentially more than a raw coin, especially when confirmed to be rare or unique, and here's the moment you've all been waiting for, the big reveal. Among the rarest known examples of the 2022 P. Wilma Mankiller $quarter, one specimen featuring an extreme off-center strike combined with a bold double die and clash marks recently stunned collectors by reaching a value of $48,000 in a high-profile private sale. That's right, $48,000 for a single quarter. An astonishing amount for a modern coin, and a testament to how exciting the world of coin collecting has become, so don't overlook this incredible piece of American numismatic history. The Wilma Mankiller quarter is more than just a tribute to a national leader, it's a coin that represents opportunity, rarity, and rising value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this is the kind of discovery that keeps the thrill of the hunt alive. We'd love to hear from you. Have you found a 2022 P. Wilma Mankiller quarter in your collection? Have you spotted any errors or unique features? Drop a comment below and let us know. If you've got questions about your coins or want help identifying what you found, we're here to help. Second rare coin, we're going back in time to uncover the hidden secrets of a coin that millions of Americans have held in their hands, dropped into vending machines, or left forgotten in drawers across the country. It's the 1965 United States $quarter, a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but can, under the right circumstances, be worth a jaw-dropping fortune. This is the kind of story that gets every coin collector's heart racing. The year 1965 marked a major shift in the history of American coinage. Prior to this year, quarters were made primarily of 90% silver. But due to rising silver prices and the growing demand for coinage, the U.S. Mint made a historic change. They removed silver from the quarter and introduced a brand new copper-nickel clad composition. It was a turning point, a revolution in U.S. coin production, and the birth of the modern quarter as we know it today. But here's the catch, this transition didn't go as smoothly as most people think. During this switch from silver to clad coinage, a small number of 1,965 quarters were accidentally struck on silver planchets, the same kind used for 1964 quarters. These rare and extremely valuable transitional errors were never supposed to exist, but a few slipped through the cracks at the mint, and now they're out there, waiting to be discovered. These aren't just valuable, they are legendary in the world of numismatics. Collectors all around the world are obsessed with finding these silver 1965 quarters, because they represent one of the most iconic minting mistakes in U.S. coin history. The demand is sky high, and prices have soared as more and more people become aware of just how rare these coins are. If you're lucky enough to find one, you could be looking at a six-figure payday. That's not a fantasy, it's a fact. So what makes the 1965 quarter so special, and how do you know if you have a rare one? The most important thing to look for is the metal composition. Most 1965 quarters are made of copper-nickel, which gives them a slight gray tone and a copper-colored edge. But the rare silver planchet errors will have a distinctly different appearance. They're slightly lighter in weight, they have no copper-colored edge, and they often have a more brilliant, silvery shine. If you think you've got one, the first thing to do is weigh it. A normal 1965 clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, while a silver one should weigh closer to 6.25 grams. That tiny difference could be worth a fortune. Another error that makes the 1965 quarter incredibly valuable is the double die strike. In some rare examples, the letters and numbers on the coin appear to be slightly doubled, especially in the words, Liberty or, In God We Trust. This doubling happens when the coin is struck more than once slightly out of alignment. These double die varieties are among the most sought-after errors in the hobby, and collectors will pay huge premiums for them. But wait, that's not all. There are also examples of 1965 quarters with off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and other striking errors that make them even more desirable. These unique minting mistakes can dramatically increase the coin's value, and the more dramatic the error, the more collectors are willing to pay. These types of coins are often the highlight of coin shows and auctions because of their rarity and visual appeal. In fact, some of these rare 1965-era quarters have already made headlines at major auctions. Collectors and dealers alike are keeping their eyes peeled, checking every coin that passes through their hands in hopes of spotting one of these rare treasures. And when they do appear at auction, the competition is fierce. One of the most famous examples, a 1965 quarter mistakenly struck on a silver planchet, was authenticated, graded, and sold for an absolutely astonishing amount. Coins like these aren't just sold, they're fought over. If you're someone who's just getting into coin collecting, or even if you've been at it for years, this is the kind of coin that can completely change your perspective. It's a reminder that valuable coins are still out there, hiding in plain sight. They could be in your pocket right now, in a forgotten coin jar, or tucked away in a drawer just waiting to be discovered. That's the magic of numismatics. It's a real-life treasure hunt, and anyone can take part in it. To identify a potential treasure, you'll need a good scale, a magnifying glass, and a sharp eye. Always check the edge of your coins. A copper edge means it's likely clad. No copper edge? Get it weighed immediately. Look closely at the details for doubling, misalignment, or any unusual characteristics. If anything looks suspicious in a good way, don't hesitate to have it looked at by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Certification can unlock the full value of your coin and protect it for future generations. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the incredible value reveal. One of the rarest known 1965 quarters, struck on a 90% silver planchet with exceptional condition and verified by professional graders, was sold in a private sale for a truly unbelievable sum. That quarter was valued at $170,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $170,000 for a single quarter that most people would pass over without a second glance. This is the kind of find that changes lives, and it's out there, just waiting to be discovered. So go check your coin collection, dig through your change, and start looking closer. That next rare 1965 quarter might just be in your hands right now, and you won't even know it unless you look. Third expensive coin, we're talking about the 1979 United States quarter dollar, a coin that has sparked serious attention in the numismatic world for its unexpected value and rare error varieties. At first glance, the 1979 quarter might look like just another piece of loose change. It has the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse, the proud eagle perched on the reverse, and a clean D mint mark signifying that it was minted in Denver. Millions were produced, making it a common coin in circulation. But here's where it gets incredibly exciting. Not all 1979 quarters are created equal, and some possess extremely rare features that make them worth far more than just 25 cents. This coin marks an important period in modern U.S. minting, as it was part of the new clad composition series introduced after the U.S. moved away from silver coinage in the late 1960s. By 1979, production was fully in swing, but that doesn't mean mistakes didn't happen. In fact, some of the most valuable and collectible errors occurred during this time, and certain 1979 quarters are now considered premium collector's items because of these minting anomalies. What makes some of these quarters so valuable? The answer lies in rare mint errors and die varieties, the kinds of mistakes that slip through quality control at the U.S. Mint and become prized possessions for serious collectors. One of the most significant and highly sought-after errors on the 1979 quarter is the double die obverse. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once slightly misaligned, creating a doubling effect on the text and sometimes even the details of Washington's profile. When found in sharp condition, these double die errors are worth serious money and are quickly snapped up by collectors. Another incredible error to look out for is the off-center strike, which can happen when the coin blank is not properly aligned in the press. These errors leave part of the design missing, giving the coin a dramatic, unique appearance. The more off-center the strike, especially if the date is still visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. These visually striking errors are easy to spot and have a strong collector following. die cracks and retained cut errors are also known to exist on some examples of the 1979 D quarter. These are formed when the die used to strike the coin begins to break or chip, leaving raised lines or blobs of metal on the surface of the coin. These features not only tell a story of minting machinery under pressure, but they also set the coin apart as one of a kind, a quality that always drives up value in the collector market. One particularly famous variety of the 1979 D quarter is the filled D mint mark error, where the letter D appears clogged or partially filled in, almost unrecognizable. These happen when grease or debris gets caught in the minting die, affecting the clarity of the mint mark. While this might seem like a minor issue, collectors love these kinds of small yet significant details, and certain filled D varieties have been known to sell for impressive prices. Collectors value these rare coins based on several key factors: condition, rarity, and demand. Coins that are in mint state condition, meaning they have never been circulated and retain their original luster and sharp details, can fetch dramatically higher prices than their worn counterparts. If your 1979 D quarter has any of the rare errors mentioned and is also in mint condition, you're looking at a serious winner. Auction houses and online marketplaces have already seen fierce bidding over rare 1979 D quarter varieties. Coins certified by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC have been sold to enthusiastic collectors for thousands and even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the error type and coin grade. These coins are in high demand, with numismatists always on the lookout for new discoveries or previously unknown varieties. The excitement is real, and the opportunities are growing. If you're lucky enough to find a 1979 D quarter with any of these rare traits, doubling, misstrikes, die cracks, filled mint marks, or off-center errors, do not overlook it. Get it professionally assessed and graded to unlock its true market value. The right coin in the right condition can turn a casual discovery into a life-changing moment. This is why collectors love this hobby, not just for the thrill of the hunt, but for moments just like this. And now, the part you've all been waiting for, the ultimate value reveal. Among the most incredible finds known to date, one exceptional 1979 D quarter featuring a strong double die, off-center strike, and in pristine uncirculated condition was recently authenticated and valued by experts at a staggering sum of $90,000. Yes, you heard that right, $90,000 for a single quarter. That's more than just loose change, that's a small fortune. This is why the 1979 D quarter has become one of the most exciting coins in the eyes of modern collectors. With rare errors, bold varieties, and high-grade examples commanding premium prices, this is a coin that deserves a second look every time you come across it. So now it's your turn. Go through your change, check your coin jars, and dig into your old collections. That overlooked 1979 D quarter sitting in your drawer might just be your ticket to an incredible discovery. If you think you found one with errors or unique features, share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear from you and help guide you through the next steps. Especially, you're about to discover the incredible story behind a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but has taken the numismatic world by storm, the 1967 United States quarter dollar. This is not just another old coin in your change jar. This is a piece of American history that, under the right conditions, could be hiding a jaw-dropping secret. So grab your magnifying glass, get comfortable, and pay close attention, because by the end of this video, you'll see why the 1967 quarter is one of the most exciting coins to collect today. In the world of coin collecting, few coins generate the kind of buzz that the 1967 quarter does. Minted during a pivotal time in U.S. history, this coin was part of the transition away from silver coinage. Just a few years prior, in 1965, the U.S. Mint removed silver from circulating quarters, replacing it with a copper-nickel-clad composition. By 1967, this new composition was in full production, and millions of quarters were minted. But what makes this year's coin so fascinating is not how many were made, but how a tiny handful of rare errors and unique minting quirks have made this coin one of the most sought-after pieces in circulation. You see, 1967 was a special year for U.S. coinage because the mint was still fine-tuning its processes during this transition period. As a result, certain errors occurred during production, and these are the coins that collectors are chasing with passion. The most exciting of these errors include double die strikes, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, and incredibly rare examples believed to have been mistakenly struck on leftover silver planchets. That's right, some 1967 quarters may have been minted on silver blanks meant for earlier coins, and those are the ones that can command massive prices on the collector's market. One of the most valuable varieties is the 1967 quarter struck on a silver planchet. These coins are slightly heavier than their copper-nickel counterparts and have a noticeably different color and sound when dropped. If your 1967 quarter has no copper-colored edge and a bright, silvery shine, you could be holding a coin that escaped the eyes of mint inspectors, and that's where the real treasure lies. These rare pieces are not only scarce, they're almost mythical among collectors because they shouldn't exist, but a few have been confirmed and authenticated. Another incredibly desirable error found in some 1967 quarters is the double die obverse. In these rare examples, the lettering on the front of the coin, especially Liberty and In God We Trust, appears slightly doubled when viewed under magnification. This isn't just minor wear and tear, it's a true minting error, and coins with clear, strong doubling can demand very high premiums depending on their condition and rarity. These coins are like finding a diamond in the rough, especially if they're in uncirculated condition. Let's not forget about the off-center strike errors, where the coin's design is visibly misaligned due to improper placement during minting. These can range from just a slight shift to dramatic misstrikes where a portion of the design is completely missing. The more off-center the strike, especially if the date is still clearly visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some collectors specialize in these kinds of visual oddities, and a dramatic off-center 1967 quarter in great condition can bring in thousands at auction. There are also reports of clipped planchets from 1967 quarters, where a portion of the coin's edge is cut or curved due to a misfeed in the stamping press. These clips, when verified, turn a common quarter into a rare and collectible item that stands out in any collection. The uniqueness of these errors makes them extremely desirable among numismatists who love coins with stories, and every clipped planchet coin has one. Collectors also pay close attention to the coin's condition, known as its grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Uncirculated coins, those that have never been used in daily transactions, hold the most potential. If you find a 1967 quarter with one of these rare errors and it's in pristine condition, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. This step can turn your find into an investment worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. What's even more exciting is that several rare 1967 quarters have already appeared in major coin auctions, with incredible bidding wars driving up their prices. In recent years, collectors have paid astonishing amounts for high-grade error coins from this year. And while not every 1967 quarter is a jackpot, the potential is very real, especially for coins with documented minting mistakes and verified by trusted grading companies. This coin is now gaining serious traction in the collecting community, and demand continues to rise. So why is this coin so appealing? Because it combines history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. Every collector dreams of finding that one elusive coin, the one piece that seems to defy the odds. The 1967 quarter offers exactly that, a chance to uncover a rare error, a minting mistake, or even a silver outlier from a year when silver was supposedly no longer in use. That's what makes the hunt so exciting, and that's what keeps collectors coming back for more. Now, for the part you've all been waiting for, the value. In one documented case, a 1967 quarter struck on a silver planchet, confirmed and graded at a high mint state, sold for a staggering $120,000. Yes, you heard that right, $120,000 for a single quarter. This isn't a rumor. It's a verified sale that proves just how extraordinary this coin can be under the right circumstances, so don't overlook the change in your pocket, your coin jar, or that old roll of quarters tucked away in a drawer. That 1967 quarter you've been ignoring could be a hidden treasure. Look closely, examine carefully, and if something about it stands out, don't hesitate to get it checked by a professional. You never know when your next discovery could be worth more than you ever imagined. Last unique coin, we're talking about the 1981 United States quarter dollar, a coin that looks completely ordinary on the surface, but when you know what to look for, it becomes a rare and highly valuable collector's dream. So sit back, grab your coin jars, and watch carefully because this episode could be the key to uncovering your next big find. The 1981 quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a time when the U.S. was producing millions of coins for circulation. This was a period of high production, but even in the midst of mass minting, some coins emerged with rare and stunning errors that now make them incredibly desirable. Most people overlook the 1981 quarter as just another piece of change, but true collectors know better. They know that within this seemingly common coin lies the potential for incredible value, especially when you discover one with a key minting mistake or rare die variety. One of the most talked about features that makes some 1981 quarters worth a fortune is the double die obverse error. In these rare cases, the lettering on the front of the coin, particularly the word Liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust," and even the date, 1981, appears to be slightly doubled. This doubling isn't caused by wear, it's a true die variety that occurred during the minting process when the die shifted slightly between strikes. These double die quarters are highly collectible, especially when the doubling is strong and visible without magnification. Another incredible error to look for is the off-center strike, which happens when the coin blank is not perfectly aligned in the coin press. This results in a design that's partially missing or misaligned, making each coin completely unique. In the case of the 1981 quarter, off-center strikes that still show the full date and mint mark are particularly prized, as collectors value errors that retain critical identifying features. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially when paired with good overall condition, but it doesn't stop there. Some 1981 quarters have also been discovered with clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is cut off due to a mishap in the blank cutting process. These curved or jagged edges immediately catch the eye of experienced collectors and can fetch high prices depending on the size and visibility of the clip. And if you ever come across a broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, you'll notice a wider, flatter appearance that sets it apart instantly. These broad-struck coins are both rare and highly valuable when well preserved. Collectors also go wild for 1981 quarters with filled die errors, especially in the mint mark or lettering. Sometimes grease or debris can partially block the die during striking, causing missing or faint details. A filled mint mark is one of the more intriguing varieties from this year, and examples in high grade are becoming harder to find as more collectors add them to their personal collections. Condition, of course, plays a massive role in a coin's value. Coins in mint state condition, particularly those graded MS 65 and above by professional services like PCGS or NGC, will always command premium prices. If you've got a 1981 quarter with a rare error and it's in pristine condition, then you could be holding onto something truly extraordinary. It's this combination of rarity, uniqueness, and condition that fuels the high demand for certain 1981 quarters in the collector market, and make no mistake, this coin is in high demand. In recent years, more collectors have turned their attention to modern era coins, and the 1981 quarter has emerged as a surprising star. Auction houses have seen intense bidding wars for high-grade examples featuring these rare errors. Whether it's a dramatic off-center strike, a bold double die, or a silver-colored planchet that's snuck in from another denomination, these coins have found their way into the spotlight, and the prices reflect that excitement. What makes the 1981 quarter especially exciting is that it's still out there in circulation. Yes, you could very well come across one in your everyday change. That's the beauty of this hobby, you don't have to be a millionaire to find something valuable. All it takes is a sharp eye, a bit of knowledge, and a willingness to check those coins that everyone else ignores. And that's why collectors are always scanning their change jars and coin rolls, hoping to find that rare gem before someone else does. So how can you spot one of these valuable 1981 quarters? Start by checking for doubling on the front of the coin, especially around the lettering and date. Look for unusual shapes in the mint mark, missing letters, or any edge damage that could indicate a clipped or misaligned strike. If you see anything that seems off or different, don't ignore it. Take it to a coin shop or submit it to a professional grading company to get it authenticated. That small step could turn an ordinary quarter into a life-changing discovery. And now, for the grand finale, the moment that makes coin lovers sit up and take notice. A rare 1981 P quarter featuring a strong double die, in near-perfect mint state condition, recently made headlines after being authenticated and sold at auction. The final price? A jaw-dropping $65,000. Yes, you heard that right, $65,000 for a single 1981 quarter. That's not just an amazing find, that's a collector's dream come true, so don't overlook this humble little coin. The 1981 P quarter is one of the most surprising hidden treasures in American coinage, and with just a little knowledge and attention, you might be the next lucky collector to uncover one. If you think you found a 1981 P quarter with an unusual feature, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story and help you identify your find.